We never, ever, ever should accept another election or any election that's came out of a computer or machine. We've proven that. No judge has ever looked at any of the evidence so far in this country. They've kicked the can for a thing called standing. This is what we have to get rid of the electronic voting machine. We have cyber guys watching this. I looked at a thing today. It was on my Twitter back from November of 2020, and they showed CNN 20,000 votes dropping right off of Donald Trump's total in real time. You guys, votes don't go in reverse. These are computer manipulation algorithms. So what I'm telling you is this election, it's all eyes. We have all the camera angles. Everything you're going to see over these next 7 months to get rid of the machines. You're going to see the Supreme Court case coming out. All these great things, everybody. By the way, you can find more at frankspeech.com. I'll put that out there. There are so many. I'm more optimistic today than I have been yesterday.
January 15th, I went in there with 4 papers that shows dominion and the election crime of the machines in China and attacking our country, cyber attack, all 50 states, over 12 million votes that Donald Trump won by 82 million to 68 million was the real count.
Who gave you the papers?
I just said a whole bunch of lawyers did. I've never read them.
This is a tragic tale of around and find out, and how it came for the MyPillow guy Mike Lindell.
There's a $5 million prize for anybody that can prove the election data that I have from the 2020 election is false.
Now, I want to let y'all know how Lindell went from the loud MyPillow guy that sold tons of pillows to a man sobbing in court claiming that he's now in ruins because he had signs from the beginning that he should let this whole stolen election lie go.
MyPillow CEO Mike Lindell, the pro-Trump election denier who even ran for chair of the RNC, now has been ordered to pay $5 million to a 63-year-old Trump voter from Nevada.
We just learned today Mike Lindell, the MyPillow guy, is being forced to fork over $5 million after he lost his own Prove Mike Lindell Wrong election fraud challenge. What do you make of all of this happening at once?
I mean, that was an amazing self-own.
When you had the idea for the Prove Mike Wrong challenge, did you have an expectation you might have to pay out $5 million?
No, why would I have that? Because I already had validated.
So you didn't have any concerns that someone might win the Prove Mike Wrong challenge?
No, because they would have to show it wasn't from 2020, and it was. You know.
After being proven wrong and being on the hook for that $5 million that he basically sued himself over, he really could have stopped. But Donald Trump egged him on, invited him to events to legitimize him. MAGA talk show hosts like Steve Bannon and networks like OAN kept having him on to spew all the nonsense that flowed through his head. And it led to him finally being sued by the voting machine companies that already won hundreds of millions of dollars against Fox News.
God bless you. Thank you, Mike. Thank you for everything.
What is this? Sir, what is this? It's for you.
Okay, well, what is it?
It's not for me. It's not for me. It's for you.
Okay, I need you to open it.
That is court documents right there, sir.
Oh, it is. Come on, sue me, Dominion. So they finally did. It's a beautiful day here for America. I want everybody to know that. This is a great day because the truth's going to come out. I don't care how long it takes and how much money it costs me.
Are you saying, hang on, you're saying it's a great day because now you're going to go into a federal court system where rules of evidence will apply and you'll be able to make your case, they'll be able to make their case that you're a fraud, you're a scam.
It obviously didn't give him a reason to stop or rethink the horrible choices that he was making with his businesses and his life.
Eric Coomer had served papers to me before I was going on stage at the Capitol. Now, I've never talked about Eric Coomer. He's the president. Apparently, he's the president of Dominion, the criminal crime family here in Denver. I guess he's the guy that ran into a building of this up the other day and took off and ran or whatever. Who knows what he did? But anyway, he served papers. Everybody, he has sued. Everybody ready for this? Mike Lindell, Frank's Speech, and MyPillow. Eric Coomer, you are a criminal. Eric Coomer, your lawyers better look out. I'm not putting up with this. MyPillow doesn't even know who you are. My employees, I have employees, 2,700 employees. Shame on you, Eric Coomer. You did a very, very stupid move, Mr. Coomer.
You're going to be the first one right behind Rassenberg and old Jenna Griswold behind bars. You're going to be you're number one on my list. You go after my employees and after my company again.
So Fox News, a huge media company worth tons of money, had to pay out $787 million for their onslaught of election lies, which somehow led Lindell to believe that his best bet was to threaten the company that just won. And he still wasn't even done.
You belong behind bars. I heard you ran into a building the other day drunk or whatever you were, whatever you did. Allegedly, I'll say that for the lawyers so I don't allegedly accuse you of something you haven't done, but I will accuse you of this. You've been part of the biggest crime this world has ever seen. Eric Coomer, president of Dominion, you've even said what you did or what you were going to do. You're disgusting. You're evil, and you belong behind bars, and we will not stop till you are behind bars. We're going to melt down your little machines, and you're going to hang on to your little prison bars. Let me out. Should have thought about that, Eric Coomer, before you did crimes against the United States, the world, and quite frankly, all of humanity.
Like I said, he had hints early on that he was headed for a brick wall. And those warning signs got bigger when Newsmax and Fox News folks literally ran off the air when he talked about it.
They did this because I'm revealing all the evidence on Friday of all the election fraud with these machines. So I'm sorry if you think it's not
Mike,
it's real.
Can I ask our producers, can we get out of here, please? I don't want to have to keep going over this.
Actually,
we at Newsmax have not been able to verify any of those allegations that you're
Mike, hold on a second. Everybody hold on a second. Mike, hold on 1 second. Let's talk a little bit about just what is happening.
You talked about all this fraud, Doctor. The biggest fraud is the Dominion machines. And at 11:15 on election night, our great president, because of everything
Mike, I don't want to discuss, Mike, we're not going to get into the minutiae of the details. I want to ask you, because this show is about courage. It's hosted by a guy who's a former Marine. I want to know why you, Mike Lindell, are supporting the president in these legal cases.
Well, because everything's on the line here. Everything's on the line. Our freedom's my American dream that I've lived. Everybody's American dream. This is it. If you let them steal this, which I 100% know that's what they went on, this is over 6 million votes that got flipped.
Earlier this week, ABC News reported that in a district court hearing regarding the more than $50,000 in sanctions Mike Lindell has been ordered to pay voting software company Smartmatic, he said he's left with no money after numerous legal battles. "I'm in ruins," Atiri Lindell said through a Zoom screen during a motion hearing on Wednesday, pleading to Judge Carl Nichols to allow him to wait until after the final judgment comes out to make any payment in the case, which he's already lost. Last month, Smartmatic filed a motion to hold Lindell in contempt, alleging the MyPillow CEO has been dodging his court-ordered payment of $56,369 to Smartmatic for months. Lindell, however, insisted that he does not have the means to pay the amount due to various financial difficulties he's suffered over the last few years due to what he again claimed was lawfare waged against him for trying to secure the election. "I borrowed everything I can. Nobody will lend me any money anymore. I can't turn back time, but I will tell you, I don't have any money." Lindell claimed he was recently forced to lay off hundreds of MyPillow employees, lost multiple MyPillow warehouse units over the past 2 years, and even owes millions of dollars to the IRS for what he described as COVID-era employee retention credit. He claimed he has nothing except for 2 houses, which he claimed are in the process of being liquidated, and a truck. He then claimed he can no longer adhere to a previously proposed plan of making monthly installments of $5,000. Around, find out. And in Mike Lindell's case, he kept around for years, ignored all the warning signs and instances of fellow election deniers losing judgments and money over their commitment to carrying Trump's loser message of fraud. So while he's blubbering and crying in court, is anyone supposed to feel sorry for this guy? And if they do, shouldn't they expect the guy that he sacrificed his entire life and businesses over to toss him a meager $56,369 to make this small legal issue go away? Because he's also got $70 million in back payments to the IRS that he's also on the hook for, while Dominion Voting Systems, the other software company he railed against for years, is seeking $1.3 billion from him. Yeah, he's screwed. Just like Rudy Giuliani, who's barely been heard from since the president, who surrounded himself with billionaires in his cabinet, won't pick up the phone and toss him a few $1 million for his troubles. That's who Donald Trump is. And if you feel sorry for Lindell, ask yourself why the president doesn't.
The FBI came after me and took my phone. They surrounded me at a Hardee's and took my phone that I run all my business, everything with. They could have just, what they've done is weaponize the FBI. It's disgusting. I don't have a computer. Everything I do have that phone, everything was on there. And they told me not to tell anybody. Here's an order don't tell anybody. Okay, I won't. Well, I am.
I guess your loan, the loan you took out at MyPillow, people are all over you about this.
Yeah, last year actually was 3 separate loans as the machine companies continue to sue us for billions of dollars, and we had to borrow almost $10 million at MyPillow. We're a company. We're an employee-owned company. It just baffles me, Steve. You've got all these companies, these machine companies out there, these voting machine companies that nobody even knew their name before, but everybody protects them, and yet you attack a USA company, MyPillow, and my employees, and it's just disgusting.